I noticed it first in a photo she posted. A simple selfie. Sunlight spilling through the cafe window, her smile soft, almost staged. But her left hand, resting against her cheek, was bare. The ring I'd slid onto her finger only 4 months ago gone. First, I thought maybe she'd forgotten to put it on. People do that. Rings slip off in the shower, get left on the sink. But something about her expression in that photo, like she was hiding behind it, made my chest tighten. When she came home that night, I didn't mention it right away. I just watched. The way she tossed her purse on the couch, humming some tune I didn't recognize. The way she avoided my eyes. Long day? I asked. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Yeah, meetings ran late. I'm exhausted. Her left hand brushed her hair. And again, no ring. My throat went dry. You're not wearing your ring. She froze for just a second, then laughed lightly, too lightly. Oh yeah, I took it off. My finger's been swollen lately. Probably from all the heat. It was March. Still cold. I didn't push. I just nodded and said, right? Makes sense. But it didn't. None of it did. For the next week, she didn't put it back on. Every morning I'd glance at her hand over breakfast. Coffee cup, phone, keys, no ring. I started noticing other things too. How her phone was suddenly always face down. How she'd linger in the car for a few seconds after getting home, pretending to finish a song or a call. One night I walked into the kitchen and she jumped like I'd caught her stealing. Her phone slipped from her hand. The screen lit up just long enough for me to see a name I didn't recognize, Evan. She mumbled something about a work group chat, grabbed her phone, and disappeared into the bedroom. That night I lay awake beside her, staring at the ceiling. Her breathing was slow, steady, asleep or pretending. I thought about our wedding day, the way her hands trembled as I slid that ring onto her finger. Forever, she'd whispered. And I believed her. But now forever felt fragile. I told myself I was overreacting, that I was being paranoid. But the unease kept growing, gnawing at me like a slow poison. So I did something I'd never imagined I would. I called a private investigator. The man's name was Lawson. Mid-50s, gruff voice, no small talk. I met him at a quiet diner 2 towns over, where no one would know me. Tell me what's going on, he said, pulling a notepad from his jacket. I hesitated, feeling ridiculous. It's my wife. She stopped wearing her wedding ring. His expression didn't change. And she's been acting different. Late nights, secretive with her phone. There's a guy named Evan in her messages. He nodded, jotting something down. You want me to find out if she's seeing someone? The words stung, even though I'd been thinking them for weeks. Yes. Lawson looked at me with something like pity. All right. I'll need her work schedule, car model, and a photo. Give me a few days. Those few days stretched into an eternity. Every text she sent, every late return, every unexplained smile. I scrutinized it all. My stomach knotted whenever her phone buzzed. Friday night, she said she was meeting her coworkers for drinks. I watched her get ready, carefully choosing a dress she hadn't worn in months, one that hugged her in all the right places. She applied perfume, the one she wore on our first date. I wanted to say something, ask her to stay, but the words lodged in my throat. Don't wait up, she said softly, grabbing her purse. Okay. My voice cracked. The door closed. The silence that followed felt unbearable. 2 days later, Lawson called. Got something you'll want to see, he said. We met at the same diner. He slid a brown envelope across the table. My hands trembled as I opened it. Photos. Her. In that same dress. Sitting at an outdoor restaurant, laughing, leaning across the table toward a man I didn't recognize. He had dark hair, a hand resting too comfortably near hers. In another photo, she was touching his arm. And in the last one, they were kissing. The air left my lungs. My hands went cold. Lawson cleared his throat. They were together for 3 hours. He dropped her off at your place afterward. She kissed him before she went inside. I couldn't speak. Couldn't move. She's been meeting him every Friday, he continued quietly. Same guy. Same bar. Same story about coworkers. I felt something inside me shatter. Thanks, I managed to say, though my voice barely sounded human. I paid him and drove home in silence. She was on the couch when I walked in, scrolling her phone. "Hey babe," she said, looking up with that same practiced smile. "You're home early." I didn't answer. I just stood there watching her. Finally I said, "Who's Evan?" Her face drained of color. "What?" Just don't lie." She stared at me for a long moment, then sighed, setting the phone aside. "He's someone from work." "Someone you kissed?" Her mouth opened slightly. What are you talking about?" I tossed the envelope onto the table. The photo spilled out like spilled blood. Her hand flew to her mouth. Tears filled her eyes instantly. "Oh my God, you had me followed? That's what you care about?" I said, voice shaking. "Not the fact that you've been cheating on me?" She stood, trembling. It wasn't what you think, Mark. It was just talking. I was lonely. You've been so distant lately." "Lonely?" I laughed bitterly. "For months. We've been married 4 months. And you're already lonely." She started crying, covering her face. "I made a mistake." "Yeah," I said quietly. "You did. That night I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just packed a bag." She followed me into the bedroom, pleading, "Please don't leave. It didn't mean anything. I swear it's over now." I looked at her, mascara running, ringless hand trembling. "Then why did you take it off?" I asked. She didn't answer. That silence said everything. I stayed with my brother for a while after that. She texted me every few days. Long messages full of apologies, promises, explanations I couldn't bear to read. The divorce papers came 2 months later. She signed them without a fight. Maybe guilt, maybe relief. Sometimes I still scroll through her old photos. The ones from when things were good, before the ring disappeared. Before trust became a luxury. It's strange how something so small, a band of gold, can hold so much meaning. And how its absence can unravel everything you thought was solid. People ask what happened. I tell them simply, she stopped wearing her ring. But what I really mean is, she stopped choosing me. And once that happens, no investigator, no apology, no photograph can ever put it back together.